Hey guys, Sean here. So a question I get asked often is, I'm probably stropping wrong and rounding the edge, and I just want to tell you guys are overthinking it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to hone a razor on a new stone that I have, and then I'm going to strop, and in just one take, we're going to go to the bathroom and we're going to see how it performs, just to show you that maybe the over stropping is not what's ruining your edge. Maybe it's something else. Maybe you need to set the bevel. But here we go. Come with me. I got this medium-sized hollow ground. Thank you, No Name Bear. Over here, I have this kosher Rockstar 1K. So it's supposed to be very fine. We'll see how it performs. Let's set the bevel here. Now, as you can see, I am using slurry. I will use a little bit of compound green chromium, but I'm only going to use this stone, and we'll see how it performs. So I'm not worried about the slurry, or if it's making a microconvexity. If you're worried about microconvexity, then you should never use paste on your strops, because that will microconvex your edges way more than slurry on a stone ever will. Hey, even without the compound, it will microconvex it, but that is just smoothness for your edge, nothing to worry about. It's not like we're sharpening knives, we're sharpening razors that are designed to shave us, so. Alright, as you guys can see, this kosher stone is perfect because it's white and you can see what you've done. So, gonna do the finishing laps here. Remember guys, we're gonna, in just one take, we're gonna strop and we're gonna shave as well. I have my lovely assistant with me today, so don't have to worry about the camera angles. I hope everyone's doing well. Today is race day. Hoping Max wins the race. I think that's enough. Let's go and head over to the strop. My little mechanism for the strop today is this. It was a little DIY. This is canvas that I bought, and this has green chromium oxide. So I'm gonna do one. For me, that's 1, 2, and notice how much I'm bending that strop. Hey, let's do 6. And that's a question I get asked a lot. Is that bend too much to ruin my edge? Well, I don't think so, but let's take it to the extreme. Here I have fire hose. So this is poor stropping technique, because usually you want it to be really tight, but I'm trying to prove a point that if your edge is not where it needs to be, most likely it's not the strop. And in fact, sometimes you do want a little slack, because that way you hit that very apex of the edge. That's about 20. On this linen, and by the way, this is just, there's no compound there. See? That's just dirt. So, do about 100 here. Let's do 100, 100, 100. And I have bad technique, you know, I'm doing it fast or whatever. That's about 25 right there. Got a lot of slack there. Now, I'm not saying you should strop this way. I'm just showing you that it's not a big deal as people want to make it out to be. I think that's about 75, right? This is no fast forward here. This is just my natural ability to strop. That's about 100, I think. Now I'll go to this 400 leather side on this Illinois razor. You can kind of hear a ring to it now when you're stropping. Look at all that bend I have right there. Again, I'm not saying this is the proper way to strop. I'm just trying to prove that it doesn't matter that much. It's not a big deal. If your edge is not performing, it's probably not because of the strop. Something else is going on there. And most often the case, it is the bevel set that needs some work. Remember guys, the bevel is 95% of your edge. That last 5% is the finishing stroke. And actually the stropping, I look at stropping as a progression. You know, as you guys can see, I started with the, well in this case I started with the compound because I know it will make a difference on the edge. I know that stone is kosher, but not that kosher. Those 6 little strokes that I did are gonna do a lot to this edge. Paste is a cheat code in the best possible way. That's not a bad statement. It really just is a cheat code. If you want good edges, you should probably try some paste. If you're testing out an edge or you want a specific edge, then probably not. But this is leather 1000 wet dry. You can see it's very glossy. So you guys can see I went from what you would say is a coarser strop progression to a finer progression. All right. Bad technique. This is bad technique. You should have nice and taut like this. Some people say I strop too fast. You know, I can feel I don't have any bad strokes in there. Well, now I do. But when I usually strop like this, I don't feel like I'm ruining the edge. I just feel comfortable. But when you're starting out, you should start slow. If you have a smaller strop, you can do an X stroke pattern. And sometimes I do the skew, like JPO talks in his channel. And sometimes if I want to hit the very apex, I put a little slack. I know I'm hitting the apex a little more, and I go a little bit more straight. I know this is a lot of stropping strokes, but remember, I only have the Rockstar 1K edge on this. Look at this horrible stropping technique. This is the power of stropping, guys. This probably should be enough to get a shave, right? So, what do you think? Should we go to the bathroom and try and get the shave?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Let's go. Bad stropping technique. 1K edge. All right, so you can hand this to me. I can put that here. Bye-bye. Thank you. All right, we're alone now. So, put a little moisture on my face. The bougie sprayer is kind of getting a little bit messed up. All right, I am using Ariana and Evan's Barberia de Familia, Limes de Sicilia. I can't say that in Italian, so I'll just say Barberia de Familia. I'm using, this is a no-name bear shave, so I'm using his horse knot hair. I have like 5-6 days of growth. Can't remember. So. Am I expecting this to be a very close shave, very comfortable shave? I don't think it should be uncomfortable. I've done this before, but it definitely, I'm not expecting it to be BBS, but that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is, are you stropping wrong? And that's kind of what I wanted to do, a one-take video, because it's kind of like no nonsense, no bull type of video. No edits, Can't do any magic. All right. So, making sure I have dry hands here. And here is the razor in question. Let's see. I'll do a little cheat code and do a lot of small little strokes. That seems to help. This is very nice and slick. When you hear me say that, I forgot what I was gonna say. It's like 8 a.m. here and I just remembered. When I say that, I forgot again. What the heck, man? I obviously haven't had coffee. Bad technique, stropping technique. When I say that the edge is everything, the bevel set, this is what I mean. I did cheat. I did use a kosher Rockstar 1K. That probably has a lot to do with it. I mean, I've seen guys using full progressions get worse edges than this, so. So those like 300, 400 strokes with bad technique on the strop ruin the edge? No. So if you're getting bad edges, did you strop the way I did with that horrible technique? Probably not. You were probably with better technique than I. I'm guessing it will struggle a little bit somewhere here around the neck. That's usually where I struggle as well. If I have an edge that isn't that good. On the green strop that I used at the first one, that had a some green chromium. Okay, let's do this side of the neck now. I'm cleaning the razor more often than not, because having those hairs right at the apex of the edge can kind of make it so it doesn't cut. And actually, it does not feel uncomfortable, but that can be good shaving technique. So having that very shallow angle, it could be the kosher stone, it could be the paste. That's why I say, if the fastest way, or one of the fastest way to get good edges is start using paste. Because if your edge is 40%, 100% being the best, 40% being not so good, not even being halfway there, it will take your edge, just a few strokes will take it to a really good place. All right, I thought that was good results. Let's go against the grain. And no, Shapton did not make a special stone for me. That is a 1K. That's not a sticker that was on there. People always talk shit, so someone will say that. Who knows? A little more Wawa, like the Stallion used to say, Anthony Esposito. Okay, drying my hands, and let's go against the grain. Another great way of getting good edges, if your edge is already good, you don't need too much stropping. But if your edge is not so good, strop, and strop a lot, in my opinion. Yes, you could go to, and you should go back to the stones. But look what I did with a 1K. It's a kosher 1K, but a 1K nonetheless. If you're wondering why I keep mentioning kosher stones, it's just B&B, fun, just cracking some jokes. Trying some different strokes here, just having a little bit of fun. Not my usual setup, but a 2-pass shave nonetheless. And I must say that's pretty close. Cleaning the edge. So this might be a longer video than usual. If I do any sort of editing, it will be some music, I've never done these type of strokes before with the same hand, but interesting. So we gotta add a little bit more hydration here. Maybe a little bit more soap, actually. And I mean, having a slick soap also helps. So I did cheat, you know. I used the paste. I used the kosher stone. I know I'm joking, but the rock stars are really good synthetic stones. it's funny. The polish is not the best I've seen, but the apex condition is definitely the best I've seen from a synthetic. Let me get my nose hairs real quick with my Sean stroke, special stroke. All right. Let's get this side. So today, I feel kind of good that I experimented with a lot of different strokes that I've never done before. 1K edge, bad stropping. So why the 1K edge? You have an edge, you have a progression, 1, 5K, 10K. And your results were better than, or worse than what I just got with a 1K and bad stropping technique. Then that just, it's kind of like a no-brainer that go back to the bevel set, make sure that the foundation is right, and go from there. Because if your foundation is right, like mine was today with that Shapton, even bad stropping technique won't ruin your edge. I don't care what anybody says, do it for yourself, and don't trust the so-called experts. Be your own expert. I'm gonna finish that off with Danielle Malu. Really like this. This is like, I'm always gonna have this at the house, at the den. And woo! And actually, I don't feel any irritation. I did got myself here. I guess it passed the hanging flush hair or hanging flush test. So no irritation. We'll see in a few hours if I do have any irritation. I doubt it. I think I did miss a spot here real quick. Yep, got it. It's right there. So, that was the whole point of the video. Usually, I do a lot less stropping, but stropping won't ruin your edge, especially if you have better technique than what I did, which was deliberately done the wrong way. But I guess it wasn't done the wrong way because I got a good shave off of it. But usually, I do make up my own mind when I do my own testing, and you should too. Great soap, great aftershave splash, great razor, great brush, great camera woman. I hope everybody has a good week. Don't know when I'm going to post this, but yeah, thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So have a good one.